Alright, Madden 11 here. Yes, I have Madden 11. For those of you ready to call me a hypocrite, please refer back to a month and a half ago where I openly came out and said I would be getting this game because I'm a video game football critic. In order to have something to critique, you have to either own it or rent it copious amounts of times to the point where the rental charge will far exceed the ownership charge, which is redundantly stupid, for lack of a better term. So, fortunately, I went to college with somebody who manages one of the 4 local GameStops. In short, 60 hours after the release of Madden, he called me. They had a used copy. $42 later, that used copy is in my Xbox. This is the first play. And I want to focus on 2 things. One being interactions, the other being something I love to call procedural awareness. Let's follow Gian Robinson live on this kick return and see exactly where the realism comes in with Madden, because this has me dumbfounded, because I just don't even know how to describe this chain of really events impacted by nothing. I mean, this is a waste of a player on a field. There's really no excuse you can give me for what these reactions and actions to nothing are based on or coming from. However, neither here nor there. I do want to focus, however, on the kick returner himself, and that's going to be Sam Geyer. And to me, this in a nutshell is all the things wrong with Madden. As he runs up, you're going to see in front of him is 5 San Francisco 49ers, and this is something where point of impact happens in real football, where a player is essentially smothered by gunners on special teams. However, in Madden, there is no impact deflection, point of impact, whatever you want to call it. It's non-existent. What happens here is all the things Madden is famous for. There's a motion shift at a number 46, there's warp at a number 19, there's random trucking happening when someone should have no weight or momentum, and the end result is going to be 7 49ers on the ground trying to tackle 1 returner when the only move applied was a juke. To me, this isn't simulation football, and more so, the fact of the matter is when you have this many players involved in a tackle, this many players on the ground, this is to me what leads to ADD football, because essentially, if I can get to the outside over here, there's no one. If I can get over here, of course, there's 3 blockers and no 49ers, because most of them are on the ground back here with the play. So, to me, issues with Madden evident right from the start. You know, something I've done a lot of, and a lot of people have done, is make a video based on one play, and I think that's a little ignorant for me to expect you to make an assumption about a game based off one example and one play in any game that I'm going to show you. So I want to show you another example on a kick return with Sam Geyer where the game just lacks fundamental interactions. We'll take a look at this at speed, and then we'll go back and slow down things. There you see the juke. And then here you see what really is just a mass of players unaccounted for because the game lacks animation. So you see here's the juke, and that's fine, everything's well and good, but right now at this point I've got 7 49ers ready to interact with me in a tackle. However, the game doesn't have an animation for this, and yeah, there is 7, you just can't see one of them off the screen before somebody counts 6 and then makes an ignorant post, but they will anyway because I just brought it up. Regardless, one player has chosen to interact with, in terms of the game, me as the ball carrier. Now, this renders everyone else moot and out of the play because the game doesn't have any animations where a wave of tacklers is just going to smother a ball carrier. In many cases in real life, that's the only outcome you're going to see in this scenario played out on a real field. Yet in Madden, this has to happen where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys all just become a heap, a pile behind the play because there's no interaction for them. There's no animation the game has to deal with this. And the issue is this tackle that I'm in with number 81 is actually a tackle that can be broken if you have a strong enough player, whatever the case is going to be. And the issue is going to be at that point you have 5 gunners now behind you on the ground. You break this tackle, you're going to run in for a touchdown. ADD football at its finest. This game lacks key interactions in terms of football. You can't replicate football. You can't simulate football if this is how you're going to go about it in such a limited way. You're handcuffing yourself and ultimately providing an incomplete product to your fan base when you release a game with an issue like this. And this is something they know is a problem. This is something they've instituted Tack for. But obviously, Tack doesn't work in all situations. And this situation and the one I showed you before, two prime examples of that. And again, you can't have simulation football with flaws like this, so prevalent and easy to spot in a game. You don't have to be a genius or have ever played a football game in real life to understand that this isn't simulation and shouldn't happen.